United States women's suffrage movement was a multi-decade-long fight to win the right for women to vote. We can look at primary and secondary sources to further investigate this movement. But first, what are primary and secondary sources? Primary sources are original and from the source. The artifacts are gathered directly from the person, place, and time. Some examples include speeches, DNA, pictures, and autobiographies. So, what are secondary sources? Secondary sources are secondhand. They are narratives from someone researching a topic. Examples include textbooks, paintings, reviews, and biographies. This photo represents a primary source. On March 3, 1913, more than 5,000 suffragists gathered to parade down Pennsylvania Avenue from the U.S. Capitol to the Treasury Building. Here is a document from the American Women's Suffrage Association. This document was sent to Congress in 1872 as a petition, asking that women in D.C. and the other territories be allowed to hold office and vote. This is another example of a primary source. Gentle Warriors was a book published in 1995 as a biography written by Barba. Since Barba wrote this book as a reflection of the difficulties Clara Euland and other Minnesota women went through, it is a secondary source. The author is writing it as a narrative. Artist Mireille Miller created this painting entitled Women Leading the Way. Miller created this work of art to honor and recognize many significant women of the suffrage movement who are often under-recognized or completely unknown in general. Miller's contribution led to hundreds of hours of research and investigation. Miller's artwork is an excellent example of a secondary resource. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. Primary sources come directly from the source. Secondary sources are secondhand. There are both advantages and disadvantages to using primary and secondary sources in your classroom. Some advantages are that they're hands-on and interactive, making the personal involvement of the viewer greater. They provide a variety of details about a person, place, object, and an event, and they can often convey emotion. With advantages, there are also some disadvantages to using primary and secondary sources. Primary and secondary sources are not always in tangible form. They may be biased or just generally untrue. It's always important to question, is this accurate? And as always, do your research. A special thanks to the resources used below for providing both primary and secondary sources.